Hello, good morning students. Today we are going to discuss about respiration in plants. It is a very important topic for NEET biology. So in this topic, first introductory part of the respiration. In introductory part of the respiration, we are going to discuss about what is respiration and why respiration is essential process and respiration is a biological phenomenon. These three important points we are going to study. What is respiration? First of all, everyone should know about the definition for respiration. What is respiration? You should have idea about that respiration. This respiration is very common in all organisms, plants and animals, including microorganisms like bacteria. So without respiration, no organism can survive. All organisms need respiration. So we are now talking about what is respiration. I mean, what is respiration in organisms? Okay. So, in general, it is common for both plants and animals, including all smallest microorganisms. So, here, respiration in common, we say that it is nothing but exchange of gases. You know very well. Everybody knows this is nothing but exchange of gases. Exchange of gases means intake of oxygen or inhalation of oxygen and this release of this carbon dioxide. I mean, or in other words, you can say that inhalation of air and exhalation. Inhalation, exhalation. So this is nothing but a respiration here. A respiration. But many people may be confused with and what is the meaning of the breathing and a respiration. What is the difference between respiration and breathing? So I will give you a clarification for that. Respiration based on the place. The respiration can be studied by three phases. This is external respiration, and internal respiration, and cellular respiration. Cellular respiration. But respiration based on the place can be studied easily by three phases: external respiration, internal respiration, and cellular respiration. But everybody knows about this. Many people may be confused here. What is external respiration? What is internal respiration? What is cellular respiration here? So here for the respiration, animals and human beings have respiratory organs through which respiration occurs. I mean, inhalation of the air and exhalation of the air will happen like this. Okay. But whereas in case of plants, how respiration takes place. But here, before knowing about the process of respiration, one should know what is the difference between the respiration and breathing. Breathing. What is the meaning here, breathing? Breathing. So it is very better to say that breathing is nothing but external respiration. We may call breathing as external respiration. Here only we take the air inside containing oxygen and we release the carbon dioxide. It is nothing but inhalation and exhalation of air. Just at the place nostrils, here nostrils are there through which air will be taken containing oxygen and this carbon dioxide is released in the same direction. This is at the nostril cavities happens. So this type of respiration comes under external respiration. It is nothing but a breathing. I mean, breathing is a part of respiration. It is not different from respiration. It is a part of respiration. Just we are taking in which we are taking the air and release the air at nostrils of the nose. Okay. And next stage here, internal respiration. What is internal respiration here? We take the air containing oxygen here like this, and it enters into lungs. Lungs. You know very well, lungs are associated with blood vessels. Blood vessels. Blood vessels. So here, air containing oxygen enters the lungs. So in lungs, exchange of gases takes place. I mean, the oxygen that diffuses into the blood vessels. Diffuses into blood vessels. And lungs release what? Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. Lungs release carbon dioxide. So this is nothing but internal respiration. Once again I am telling, internal respiration is nothing but inhalation of air that enters the lungs, and in lungs exchange of gases takes place. That means the air containing oxygen will diffuse into the blood vessels leave carbon dioxide. So this is nothing but internal respiration. This is external, this is internal. So what is about the cellular respiration? This is a very important phenomenon that we are going to study cellular respiration. So this is our main topic here, cellular respiration. What is cellular respiration? Okay. Okay guys. And here we are going to study about the cellular respiration. Cellular respiration, as name indicates here, is a cellular, cell level. This type of respiration occurs at cell level, cellular respiration. As name indicates, this type of respiration occurs at cell level. At cell level. Cell level. That point you have to understand. In what way this type of cellular respiration occurs in organisms? That is very important. In what way cellular respiration is important? What is cellular respiration? Okay. Already I told you respiration is a biological phenomenon. What is going to be happen here? Cellular respiration, cell level takes place. How this process takes place? How this process takes place? How this process takes place? Here you know very well, during photosynthesis, carbohydrates and lipids, proteins are synthesized. Proteins are synthesized. How these carbohydrates, lipids and proteins are synthesized? The carbohydrates, proteins and lipids, nothing but what? Organic substances. Organic substances. These organic substances are synthesized by plants in the process of photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, what happens? The plants take the energy present in the sunlight, that is solar energy. The solar energy is going to be converted into chemical energy. Chemical energy. So this chemical energy is stored in the form of carbohydrates, lipids and proteins. In carbohydrates, lipids and proteins, this chemical energy is stored. I mean, carbohydrates, proteins, lipids are the sources of energy. Sources of energy. So here this is one of the process in photosynthesis carried out by the plants where these carbohydrates, proteins, lipids contain energy. That point you have to remember. These are the sources of energy. Okay, but what is cellular respiration here? What is the difference between a respiration and a photosynthesis? Let us know about the difference between the photosynthesis and the respiration. Here you see, in case of photosynthesis, energy is consumed. Energy is consumed Consumed means the plants they take the energy present in the sun and converts the solar energy into chemical energy, and this chemical energy is stored in the form of organic compounds like carbohydrates, proteins and lipids, and where here energy is consumed, energy present in the sunlight is consumed here, consumed in the form of, here energy consumed for synthesis of carbohydrates, lipids and proteins. That point you have to understand. Whereas in case of respiration, you see here, whereas respiration, energy is not consumed here, energy is released, energy is released, energy is released here. But this energy is released which is stored in carbohydrates, lipids and proteins. Carbohydrates, proteins, lipids are the sources of energy, and from these sources of energy, from carbohydrates, lipids and proteins, or energy that is stored in the carbohydrates, proteins, lipids are released in the process of respiration. So, one important point you have to understand is respiration is energy releasing process. Respiration is energy releasing process. Energy releasing process. Photosynthesis is not energy releasing process. Inverse photosynthesis is the process in which energy is consumed or stored, whereas in respiration energy is released which is stored in the form of carbohydrates, proteins and lipids. That is the main difference between photosynthesis and respiration. Now coming to cellular respiration. What is cellular respiration? How energy is liberated? That is nothing but the process cellular respiration. This type of respiration occurs at cell level. So let us study about cellular respiration. How cellular respiration occurs. So this is very important topic in EAMCET and also in NEET. They understand. So be careful, students. What is cellular respiration? What type of questions are going to be asked? That is very important. Okay. Shall I repeat? So far we studied that in photosynthesis energy is stored in the form of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Whereas in case of respiration, energy is released which is stored in carbohydrates, fats and proteins. So that is very important. Now coming to cellular respiration here. Cellular respiration. Cellular respiration. So in general, the plants synthesize carbohydrates and proteins, okay, and what are the lipids, okay, this is a source of energy here, source of energy. So the plants, in the process of photosynthesis, plants prepare these organic compounds, carbohydrates, proteins and lipids. And here animals and human beings, animals, okay, and human beings, you know very well, these are what herbivores. Among the animals, herbivores, some are carnivores, and also human beings here, omnivores. They take the food that is synthesized by the plants. So flow of energy takes place from these plants to animals and human beings. So energy that is stored in carbohydrates, lipids, but understand, transferred to animals and human beings. But here, what is happening here? Let us study now. What is the exact meaning of the cellular respiration? How the energy is released during the process of respiration we are going to study. Okay now? Okay. So generally we take, in case of animals you see, we take what is that, food or diet containing the carbohydrates, proteins and lipids. Okay. And here what happens in digestive system, what happens is these carbohydrates, proteins and lipids get converted into simple molecules. Simple molecules. Here simple molecules of carbohydrates are glucose, like this, glucose molecules. So glucose molecules are simple molecules and carbohydrates are complex molecules. Majorly in animals and in human beings, major source of energy is carbohydrate. Why? Because we take carbohydrates majorly in our diet, from which we are going to get the energy. When carbohydrates are converted to simple molecules, converted to glucose molecules, those glucose molecules absorbed into the blood. Through bloodstream, these glucose molecules are to be transported to cells or tissues. Here. Here what is going to be happen? So already I told you, carbohydrates are major source of energy in our diet. Those carbohydrates are going to be converted to simple molecules. Simple form of carbohydrate is glucose. The glucose molecules entire process will be done in digestion. The digestion process that is coming under digestion process in digestive system. The glucose molecules and absorbed by the intestine, and finally these glucose molecules are carried to cells or tissues. Of course, we are discussing about the glucose molecules only, proteins, amino acids, and also lipids, fatty acids, like that also. But major source of energy are the carbohydrates. So we are going to discuss about the glucose molecules. Glucose molecules are transferred through bloodstream, finally reach the cells or the tissues. Where what happens? What type of biological phenomenon going to be happen here? So at the cell level, so this is on cell here. Okay. In cell level, what happens is the carbohydrates is glucose. Glucose here undergoes oxidation. Combines with oxygen, and burning of glucose happens. That means burning. So for burning, the oxygen is required now. Here, burning means burning of glucose. We should not say the process is burning. Commonly we say this is a burning, but actually this process is called oxidation. So glucose, here what is it? Energy is released. Okay. And also as byproduct some other, so energy is released. This is what is called chemical energy. Okay. So the energy that is stored in glucose is going to be burnt, going to be oxidized, and as a result of this, energy is released. This energy is stored in the form of ATP. You know very well ATP, what is the meaning of the ATP, what is the expansion of ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. You know very well adenosine triphosphate. So this is a very important molecule necessary to carry out all bodily functions or biological functions. This energy is required. This energy is required for all organisms, right from the unicellular organisms. Okay. So all organisms depend on the ATP only. So this energy should be available to our organisms. Then only all bodily or biological functions happen regularly without any interruption. Okay. So how this energy is released? At cell level, the glucose is going to be oxidized here. Not only glucose here, proteins and lipids also going to be oxidized. Because of the oxidation of these organic molecules like carbohydrates, proteins and lipids, and certain amount of energy is released. This certain amount of energy is stored in the form of ATP. This ATP energy is very, very important to carry out all biological functions or physiological functions. Okay, do you understand or not? And also here, one more important point you have to remember. In what way this ATP energy is important? In what way this energy is important? Two more important points we are going to study in introduction. Those 2 points here. This ATP is very, very important in what aspects? Schematic diagram. So by schematic diagram one can explain what is the importance of this ATP. In what way this ATP is very important. Schematic diagram. So this is ATP The ATP is very important for synthesis of carbohydrates and lipids and also fats, proteins, and also ATP important for muscle contraction, and also nerve impulse for amoeboid movement, ciliary movement. Overall here is cell division, more function here, cell division, and overall here growth. So this type of ATP is very, very important for the growth of all organisms, living things. So why this ATP is required? To carry out all these functions. So this ATP is involved in synthesis of carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, muscle contraction, nerve impulse, cell division, movement of the amoeba, ciliary movement, in all many functions. What are the functions represented here are limited. Many more functions are related to this ATP. So this ATP is very essential for all organisms. So this ATP energy is released only in the process of respiration. But here one more important point, can plants breathe? Yes, plants can also breathe. So for plants also breathing is very important. Already I told you breathing is nothing but exchange of gases. Am I correct or not? What are the structures here helping in plants to take the air and release the air? And here stomata, you know very well, in case of plants stomata are present. These are the small openings which are present, one can observe by transverse section of the leaf inside. Those small openings through which exchange of gases takes place through stomata. And also one more point, in dicot stems, matured stems here, matured stems in dicot stems, exchange of gases takes place through lenticels. Lenticels, what are lenticels means? In secondary growth, in the plant's secondary growth, the stem diameter increases now. When it attains a particular diameter, on the stem here, small openings can be present. Those openings are nothing but lenticels. So through which exchange of gas takes place. Why? Because in mature stems, entirely the stem is covered by bark, thick layer, that is bark. So how exchange of gases takes place here? So answer is here through lenticels. And mature stems here, lenticels develop through which exchange of gases takes place. It is a biological phenomenon. Here, in respiration is a biological phenomenon. You know already carbohydrates and proteins and lipids are organic compounds. These are nothing but sources of energy. So here at cell level what happens? At cell level or in a cell, here you see carbohydrates simple forms are glucose, and proteins simple forms are amino acids, and lipid simple forms are fatty acids like glycerol. But here glucose, we are taking glucose is a major source of energy in our diet, and here the glucose is going to be converted into simple molecules, carbon dioxide, water. These are the products which are formed, and also along with that energy is released. Here. So complex molecules, here glucose is considered to be now large molecule. That to say this is large molecule. This large molecule is going to be converted into simple molecules. Conversion of these large molecules into simple molecules like carbon dioxide, water, that is what is called catabolism. The process is known as catabolism. Catabolism, anabolism, there are two methods. Photosynthesis is best example for anabolism, respiration is example for catabolism. Catabolism is a process in which large molecules will be broken into small molecules. Whereas in anabolism, in case of photosynthesis, first of all, small molecules are formed, all small molecules aggregate, unite and form a complex molecule. Okay, that is what is called carbohydrate there. So that is anabolism, but here this is catabolism, where the glucose-like large molecules will be broken down into small molecules like carbon dioxide and water. Here, release of energy takes place. But already I told you, respiration is a chemical process, biological chemical process it is. Why? Because why it is so called biological process means the respiration takes place in living things. Cellular respiration occurs in living things. So it is a biological process where glucose is nothing but a chemical reaction. In any type of chemical reaction, we find that what is that? Reactants and product. Reactants and product. I mean, in any chemical reaction, product formation will be taken place. But immediately product is not formed in a chemical process like respiration. Immediately these products, end products are not formed. Here it will undergo, glucose will undergo many chemical transformations. Just like that proteins and lipids also, they undergo chemical transformation. Finally, they give the byproducts, they are carbon dioxide and water like this. But purely this process is nothing but what is it here, while the glucose is undergoing chemical transformation, energy release takes place, energy here. But how this energy is release is taking place, that is very important. Energy releasing process in respiration is stepwise. I mean respiration energy is not released all at once. And this energy is released step by step. In each and every step some amount of energy is released. But here many number of substances are formed here. Substance 1, substance 2, substance 3 like this. So this is overall idea about the respiration. We are going to study in the next class what is about the aerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration this can be explained very clearly. Don't worry about that. In next of my video I am going to present how aerobic respiration is taking place. Okay, now substrates are formed here, substances, many intermediates of these are called intermediate substances. Immediately glucose is not converted into carbon dioxide, water like this. Here and there substrates, intermediate substrates are formed. So what are those intermediate will be discussed later in the next video. So but here important point you have to remember, energy released or a release of energy taking place in stepwise manner. Not energy is not released all at once, just like combustion, just like in combustion. So here in this process enzymes are required. What are required? Enzymes required. Without enzymes this process will not take place. In each and every step one enzyme is required. So here enzymes. Many enzymes are involved in the process of cellular respiration. I mean in the conversion of glucose to byproducts like carbon dioxide, water, and also energy is released. So this energy is stored in the form of ATP. This ATP energy is very, very important to carry out all biological functions. Okay. So this is overall introductory part of respiration. In the next coming of videos, then a detailed study about the aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration, nothing but a fermentation can be discussed. Thank you very much.